Hi guys, John here, and I think the time has come for me to answer a question that I've been asked by subscribers and viewers here on YouTube, and even people at home, friends, family, and I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. And I don't know when or even how it'll happen, if it happens. So, I had a busy day yesterday, dealing with shoplifters at work. Ended up working late, and actually even most of the day today, even though it's my day off. But I got home last night, and I had 2 missed calls, one from Corey, one from Paul. And Corey was the first one to call, so I ended up calling him and hanging out with him most of the night, and kind of blew Paul off last night. Not really, I texted him to see what was up, and ended up talking to him today. But when I got home at like 1:30 this morning from Corey's house, I had 4 voicemails, 2 of which I knew were Mike from the other day. And then I had 2 more, which I figured Corey and Paul. No. They were actually both from Mike. And the first one I deleted immediately because it kind of, surprised me. It shouldn't have, but it did. Basically, he wanted to know if I wanted to go and hang out with him last night and have a couple of beers, and he said that he wanted to talk about bringing back the Redneck How-To Guide, which, he's done before, and I'm sure he'll keep asking. But I was ready a couple months back to bring it back. Corey and Paul both interested in starting it back up, which, I was ready to, and I decided that, even though I was going to promote it and bring it back, and I had started promoting it, I decided that it wasn't a good idea. It wouldn't have felt right, and it wouldn't have been the same show. Because even though Mike, being the goofball he is, he really brought an element to the show that I don't know anyone else could. So I decided against it, and but last night it threw me for a loop. When he said it again, like I said, it shouldn't have, but it did. So I came into my room, sat down in this chair right here, in front of the green screen that I've never used. And I thought about it, and I was going to shoot a video last night, and I didn't. So I was sitting here just thinking about it, weighing all the options. So I know Paul is in a lot of pain right now, but he's still interested in helping me do stuff, video-wise. Corey doesn't have much time on his hands, but he still is. And apparently Mike still wants to do this, and he's just quit his job. He's trying to start up his own business, and I just don't know if the time factor is right. Or even if I really want to go down that path again. So what I came up with is a balance. If, and it's still a big if, I do bring back the How-To Guide, it's going to be a very different atmosphere than the first season and a half was. It's going to, the only thing that I would think would stay the same is the title. I want to turn it into more of a group effort, have an actual cast, other than just me and Mike. I want recurring roles, and if I can get Paul and Corey on board, and if I can find out how Mike is really doing, I think I might be able to get something together. And I'm not even saying that it would be done this month, this year, next year. I don't know. But it would have more of a variety show feel, I guess, where it's a half-hour long show filled with skits. We'd do little, funny game shows, do a little bit of, of the actual how-to stuff, but keep it stupid, like we used to. And just work off of that, and I just think that would be the best way to bring it back. Not necessarily a half hour long, but looking back on when we first started it, YouTube only allowed 10-minute long videos. There wasn't really a high def option, and there was no way to make money off of it unless you were a partner. And it's been almost 4 years since I last did anything on that scale, as far as a recurring show goes. So now you look at the YouTube scheme of things, how everything's changed. You can have videos on there as long as you want. There's no time limit. I'm able to annotate videos, which means I'd be able to make money off of them, which isn't even, what I'm into doing. But if it ever took off, I know I'd have that extra revenue coming in. YouTube has changed in 4 years so much that even when I do a video now, because I don't do it on a constant basis, I can't believe some of the options. I mean, hell, I uploaded a video the other day on my computer, the Weatherman one. And when I was uploading it, I'm used to, you drag it, you watch the little bar go across the screen. While you're watching the little bar go across the screen, you do your description, your title, your tags. That was it. Now they have different sections where you do your title, your description, your tags. You choose whether or not the video is going to be annotated. And then there's a new option for 3D. Now, I'm not going to jump into 3D videos. That would be way out of my league, especially since I can't see 3D, and it would probably come out like crap because I can't see 3D. But there's just all these options. I could take the show further with a cast. A whole group of people. I could take the show, the little tiny show that we used to do, and blow it up and make it worth watching. And there's so much that needs to be done as far as even planning goes. And I feel like I'm getting ahead of things. Even starting to think about stuff like the options that I have now. I don't know if I can get those 3 guys to work together. Mike drives me, Paul, and Corey up the fucking, through the roof. Paul and Corey have never worked together on a small scale, large scale. They've never filmed together, and they really haven't hung out together. Mike and Corey, last I checked, really don't get along. The only one that keeps the three of us tied together is me. And it's been so long since I've even been in that director's chair that I never had, that I don't know, if I could keep those four contained, keep the show funny, and keep it, the quality that it needs to be. So, I think tonight I'm going to go and talk to Mike. And, I'm not afraid of, what I'm going to say, because, Mike, I'm sure you're going to be watching this video. We have a lot to discuss. Some of your habits you've been into lately, and I'm not going to get into them, into it on camera. But those need to stop. The excessive drinking needs to stop. The attitude of everyone needs to stop. We need to get together and have a serious sit-down conversation if you really want to do this. Because, Mike, I really want to do this. And I really want to make this work. If you and I can come to a term, and if you and I can, decide on where we want to take this show, and if you can prove to me that you're willing to change and cooperate, I'll move on and I'll talk to Paul and Corey. But I need to see that change. And I guess we'll discuss it more later when I talk to you. But back to topic, I don't see this happening anytime soon. Like I said before, it's not going to be next week. It might not be next month. It might not be next year. It might not happen at all. But I would love to have this happen again, because I get this urge to film videos. And I sit there, and I always have the tripod set up in my room in case I ever want to shoot anything. And I want to make this work. I want to see everything come together. And my problem is I don't know what everything is when I want to film, because I don't have a plan. I just get this urge to sit in front of the camera and do something stupid, do something funny. And I can't come up with anything. And the best way I can describe it is, even right now, I'll sit in front of the camera and I'll come up with stuff on the top of my head. And I'll just talk about it. Next thing I know, I've got a 20-minute video, and, I'm not even editing anymore, because you guys can see what I'm saying when I say it. It's not filtered, it's not edited. And you guys saw that with the Weatherman video, which honestly was one of the best videos I've done in a long time. Some might argue that it's the only video I've done in a long time, so therefore it has to be good. No, it doesn't. Because when you look at the videos that I have done, like in the last 2 years, they've sucked. And that's why I need a cast and crew that I can work off of. And this seems like as good a time as any. So, my definite answer right now is maybe. It's not yes, it's not no. It's, I need to sit down and talk with the guys and see what they have to say. Because if I can make this work, I'm going to make it work. And, it's going to be a slow process. Because I've eventually got to figure out how to get them all together in a room and just see how they react just hanging out, and see, use that to see if we could work together, to see if we could, build off of each other because when I film, I'm almost always looking at the next guy that I can bounce a joke off of, hope they say something stupid that I can work with. But, I guess that's all I got for right now. So until next time, I'm John, and take it easy.